Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FNS Sports. Feels like a year, but probably it's been at least 6 months since we've done our last casting or our last pod. That's due to many reasons. Obviously, life gets in the way. But here we are, different country since our last video. We're in New York City, Yonkers to be specific, but that's as much detail as we'll give you guys. Here we have returning. We're in the same room with to Clovis. And then we have our OG, UG, Uncle Glenn. Welcome to the show, Uncle Glenn,
Thank you.
my stepfather. So here we are again, and this time it's not about the Reggae Boys. It's our first Knicks video. So I'm wearing the guy that got traded. He just got traded to Toronto Raptors, Mr. RJ Barrett, number 9. Funny story about this T-shirt is I actually won this T-shirt not too long ago, not even a week ago. I won this T-shirt at a Knicks game. The question was, it was a Bucks game. The question was, how many years did Bobby Portis play for the Knicks? Only 1 year. Easy answer. I got this T-shirt. I should have traded the T-shirt, but I didn't get a chance to trade the T-shirt before I left. And my son is wearing the person got traded last year or during the summer. So 2 traded Knicks T-shirts here, and then 1 classic. This guy, he doesn't.
He really doesn't.
The Knicks all over. That's it. I'm the team.
All right. Well, he's the smart one. We're not looking too smart, but this is actually done on purpose. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why, this trade happened. Let's talk about what we expect from this trade. And what we see the season looking like, for the rest of the season, as well as the game coming up today against the Timberwolves, where we are expecting our new acquisitions to play for us as well. Yeah, as well as tonight. Tonight Toronto has a game tonight. I heard Toronto has a game tonight. I don't know. Toronto might be playing, so Quickly might be playing tonight. RJ might be playing tonight. But north of versus Cleveland.
Yeah, I think RJ and will be playing against Cleveland tonight. I think about 7 o'clock thereabout. So we'll see what they look like. But I'm more interested to see what we look like in maybe about an hour or so.
Yes. All right. Let's start with you, Clovis. Your take on the trade in general. I know you're excited about Quickly, so tell us what you think.
I think, if we can start with Quickly, I think it's always gonna be a big loss. I mean, we drafted him. He's a Nick. He did a lot for us. He was a very good backup guy. He never really got into the starting role in New York, but I think he could have if he kept staying. I think it's just a big loss in general that the Knicks lose this. He was a very important guy. He did his job very well. Came off the bench and he hit buckets. So I think that's a very big loss. I think he'll probably do very good at the Raptors. He suits the team very well. I think it's very sad for me too, because I really love IQ, but like this loss can change the team a lot. I think could also be a very good move for him.
I mean, it's definitely a big move for IQ. The move for IQ. He moves from the bench to the starting spot.
First move in his career.
First move in his career. First move in RJ's career. I think, like you're saying, the quick part of this is the one that hit the most to me. It hurt the most to me when I saw that he was also included in the trade. I was fine with RJ Barrett going.
Yeah.
But I was not that fine with Quick going. When I was at the game, I almost wanted to shout out to him, "Hey, Quick, make sure you stay. Make sure you stay. Make sure you tell them to pay you whatever, or just get paid lower, something, whatever it is, stay."
But made a difference.
But it didn't happen. I was this close to shouting it too. He was right there in front of me. I was courtside, just for a little bit, not for the whole game. I was courtside, and I was gonna yell it, but now he's not there, and it's too late. What do you think about Quick, Uncle Antoine?
Well, I think my thing about Quickly is missing him more than sorry for him. I think where he's gonna be now, where he is now, I think my opinion really is that I think he's gonna shine more brighter. Um, his position with the Knicks were more a little foggy than anything else. He's a fan favorite. He's one of my favorite too. He seemed like he was made for New York basketball. However, him being traded to Toronto right now, we more feel like we lose a family member than actually sorry that the guy got traded because I think he's gonna get a better opportunity. So that's my thing with Quickly. He's gonna do better. We just miss him as that guy who he could just turn things up for the fans, and he puts up good numbers too. So on that part we miss him a lot. On the other hand, not being selfish for him, it means that he's going to be elevated. So I think I would not be surprised to see him do much better.
Well, it's a good take for sure. I think he's gonna be a fan favorite over there. He's already is. I've seen at least 10 mixtapes and maybe another 10 welcome to Toronto quick videos on YouTube. So he's already a big fan favorite. I think a lot of people are saying, they value Quick in the trade more than RJ. So,
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
I think it's not a bad way to look at it, and it's not a matter of dissing RJ because the bar was so high for RJ. He's expected to be much better than where he has. We still don't think he has reached his ceiling. And then the bar was just kind of not that high for Quickly, who surpassed expectations. So that is why the red carpet is more like a rollout for him than to Barrett. So I can understand that, and I think that's the right thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Quickly is like he's way. I think he's the bigger man in this trade. I think more Knicks fans are more sad about Quickly going than actually RJ.
and that says something because obviously RJ Barrett was drafted number 3 overall.
Which is very
And
That is it.
and quickly was drafted 26,
Something.
26, 27,
Right.
something like that.
Something like that.
So that tells you the big difference there. You know what? That draft class, obviously, quickly is no longer 20 something out of that draft class. He's definitely in the top 10. So essentially, we traded a top 10 player and then 2 top 10. I would still put Barrett in the top 10 as well in that draft class. So,
performs.
so 2 top 10 players from the 2018 draft got traded. It's a big haul for Toronto. I was looking at their message boards, and the guys over there are thinking that they fleeced the Knicks.
Yeah,
They get a
I
better
think
deal.
it's yeah. I think they're from their point of view. I think it's a very good deal
They
for
get a
them.
good deal.
They
I
got
don't think they get a
RJ,
better
who's
deal.
I think they got RJ, who's very passionate for the Raptors. He's grew up in Toronto. He's from Canada. It's an amazing suit, and I also think quickly he's also gonna like get into the team very, very well. I think it's a win for them at least. Sure.
I really don't think they got two washed up players. They
No.
take two good players, but again, the bigger player in that, and it's in a way not the right way to say it, because like Dwayne just said, RJ is a number 3 player. Was drafted number 3, and quickly was 25, 26, somewhere around there. But today, with his skill set and his improvement, I would think that he should hover somewhere around top 10, but I disagree with him on that. RJ is still a top 10. I think he has fallen from 3 to top 15.
Wow.
Wow, that's a big take. I'm not so sure. I think in the last month he's obviously had a very bad December,
Yeah.
and since the migraine, he came back and can't hit a shot, can't hit a corner three, can't make the right decisions when driving the ball. Whether that is, based on him just not understanding his role in the offense or just being nervous playing in front of the Madison Square Garden, which doesn't make any sense because he's been here for so long. But at the same time, it's a heavy jersey in New York, as we all say. I think that RJ is better than what he's shown us in the last month or two. But because in the beginning of the season, he did start out pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but then again, I by now you guys realize that I'm not too much of a RJ supporter, and the reason for that, I'm disappointed because we've been very patient with him. We didn't expect the guy to come in and then suddenly we have a championship. But I did expect that after season three, we should really see consistently who we have and what is expected. He's gone, and if he was still here today, playing this game against
Timberwolves.
Minnesota, we're playing, we still would not know what RJ is gonna put up. Is he gonna put up 10 points or 25 points? So that was my issue with him, and so I'm like, I'm happy he's gone to make himself more of a consistent player. I know this is interview you referred to being home a lot, so that is good for him. I expect that he's gonna do better. Quickly is a guy I'm looking out for more. Quickly is definitely going to do better. But again, I think RJ expectation, we have him as number three, is never kept up to the hype. And I hope he'll climb right back up. But for right now, like I said, I think he fell right through the ceiling and dropped somewhere between 12 and 15.
That's a really, really hot take. I mean, I like it. I like it. Uh, I'm just not sure it's true. I don't know if I want to go
Yeah.
back and check the stats, but I'm not sure he's quite 15. But let's take that maybe in
I
another
think
video. Go ahead.
I think there is he had a very good start to the season. He was averaging more than Brunson actually in the first couple games. He was averaging more than 20. He was a consistent player. And then he got injured, and I think we didn't really see it in the beginning of him dropping. I think it impacted him slowly, and also of him being a little bit of the third guy in the Knicks. I think maybe he wanted to be a higher guy. I think maybe he expected that when he got drafted, that in 3, 4 years he would be the face of the Knicks, which he never really became. He is more of a third guy behind Brunson and Randall. Never came in front of Randall. I think he's kind of disappointed in his career.
So RJ to me works really well, and I'm just being a devil's advocate because I do think he's inconsistent, and I do think that he got under my skin even. So like he frustrated me to the point that I was like, oh, he has to go.
Yeah.
I actually called in on the Knicks Fan TV show. Actually, yeah, this is a good point. I called in on the Knicks Fan TV show the night before he got traded. And I said he would get traded. That was
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, I called in
go watch it.
less than 24 hours after I called in, said he was going to get traded. I woke up in the morning or late morning, RJ Barrett was traded. So that was really, really timely. I didn't know anything. I'm not an insider. I just knew that the Knicks fell to seventh place. I know that they don't want to be in seventh place. And he, as Uncle Glenn said, is one of their most inconsistent or was their most inconsistent performer at that time, feeling like the trade rumors were had something had to be done. And
Yeah.
he would have been the first person to go. But that said, he is good in transition when he's pushing the ball, kind of playing like pretending to be this kind of point forward kind of player. I think what the problem with RJ is if he's not a Jason Tatum or if he's not a Jalen Brown or one of these other top wings in the league, you'll always see him as not living up to the hype
Right.
Yeah.
because he is a wing that's drafted high.
Exactly.
You're a
That is
high drafted wing.
right. That is true. That is where the frustration is, or the run out of patience kind of thing is. He is drafted high. You can't be drafted at number three. Matter of fact, you can't be drafted in the top five, not expected to be more like a franchise-like player. Because usually, when you draft between one and five, you're actually seen coming in as a potential franchise player. He has never played like a franchise player. Now, notwithstanding, he is. I'll back you up on that. He is a good player. But because, you see, this is the problem where what I am personally having. Because of where he was drafted, I expect for him to put out more. Had he been, let's say, Quickly was putting out his number right now, Quickly would have been one of the best. You see, Quickly is from 25 and now moves himself up to top 10. While he's top three, and my estimation, a lot of people is not going to agree with me, but my estimation now that he has done the opposite. He's gone to between 12 and 15. So it's not that he's not good. The expectation drafted
Yeah.
at number 3
Mhm.
is that he would at least remain in that area.
So here's the thing. There was that game. Which game was it now? Uh, Thibodeau took out RJ and took out quickly and put in RJ for the last couple minutes. It was against OKC. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
In the OKC game, they were losing most of the game. Tied it up in the third quarter or fourth quarter, something like that. And it was still a decision that had to be made who was going to be on the court, quickly or RJ. Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Should just be RJ.
Should just be RJ. So the coach went to RJ, and the fans were not happy, right? Because RJ came in and did terrible things, turned the ball over, bricked some shots, did not play well. But the coach made a decision to take out the hot hand quickly to put in RJ because he's thinking that RJ is a bigger body. These decisions that you have to make for the both of them, though, I'm gonna get on quickly in a second. These decisions that you have to make as a coach, I think, creates this uncertainty of who is really the better player. Because a lot of people would say that Quickly is the better player than RJ.
Maybe just in that game, at that particular part of the game.
Yeah,
But
I want to hear Uttu's
I
take.
think if Quickly would have been drafted at third, I think the Knicks would still be happy at what number he was. I think if Quickly had the same hype at being drafted third in the draft, I don't think any Knick would be disappointed with that man because he he's lived up way more than being in the 20s and is a top 10 for sure in that draft. And if he would have been drafted third, I don't think any Knick would be complaining too much about how good he is.
That's true.
I think that's the opposite with RJ. I think every Knick is complaining that that man is not top 3 even and not even close.
Okay, before you go, Uncle Glenn, 1 second. True or false? Was Coach Thibodeau not trying to play RJ more with the second unit?
True.
What does that mean when you're trying to play your number 3 pick more with the second unit
Because it's not playing up to expectation.
of the first unit?
Well, I think coach frustration is a little bit settled into at that point. And kind of like but then again, I think the coach knew something was coming. So he kind of like, you know what, I can just let's just get this over with. That could be it.
That's also the thing. You never know what these guys know,
Yeah, I
right?
think
You
he
never
knew
know what these guys know. All right. I think we gave the
Yeah.
fans a good understanding of what we think
Yeah.
about this situation with RJ politically and skill wise and quick. We'll miss them.
I will
We
miss
will miss
quickly.
I'll miss the both of
both
them.
actually, both
Quickly.
actually.
I am not. No, I can dress this up much more. I really don't miss. I'm happy that RJ is gonna get a chance to be
Yeah.
real RJ, but I'll miss quickly.
For sure.
You know, there's a bit of sweet with quickly. RJ, I think a flip is good sometimes. Change, and I bet he's gonna be like, we're gonna be like, wow, is that the same guy who used to play for the Knicks? That's what we're gonna look at when we see RJ play.
But we,
Before I go, quickly now, what do you think? What's the expectation for this upcoming game with our new guy?
Yeah, well, let's get into that. I
Yeah.
think the new guy that we got is clearly more defensive minded. Some people compare him to Ron Artest, actually. I've heard that being tossed around, like he's the new Ron Artest. Some people said that he's Kawhi Leonard before Kawhi erupted into the star. Some people just say they call him a 3 and D. That's the new terminology in the NBA when you can shoot the three and play defense. So the problem is on the page, if you look at the stats, he's averaging 15, 16, 17 points a game. He's never averaged more than that. He's averaging maximum 3 to 5 rebounds a game, and, 2 to 3 assists a game. So the numbers don't really stick out. I didn't check the steals. I think I do know that he's been on some all defensive teams or some nominations and things like that. But then you're also hearing oh, his defense have fallen off this year. He's no longer really a defensive da 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 da. I don't know. I don't know all these things.
Yeah,
These guys get paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. If they think that he can come in and play defense and shoot the three and have potential to get even better, I think we have to trust them on that.
I think this is very defensive minded trade, I think, from Thibodeau. I think this is like we got out of our offense. We went from quickly, really can't play great defense. He tries to. You can see that tries to, but he's not really that great.
Well,
I'm glad you said that.
yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things Knicks like about him is what you'd refer to as his defensive prowess.
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't turn out to be Tilakina again. You know,
No,
remember
till it,
Tilakina? He's supposed to be the
Oh
defensive
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Where is he now? That didn't work out.
He's
So I
nowhere.
hope this don't become another Frankie.
Nah, but he's. But I think quickly he smiled above Frank. But I think, as I said, with he really tries to. You can see that he's passionate about the defending, and he really tries to get these guys to not score. But it's almost the opposite for RJ. Actually, I can't really see he's not bad at defending really, but he just doesn't show effort in it. You can't see that he's hustling for balls or like jumping, trying to get the block. He's just really just playing average defense. He's not really trying to get that extra steal to get the ball. He's just guarding the guy, and I think he lacks a little bit of passion when he gets to that. Like if RJ would actually be hustling and getting back, like running back quickly, like actually trying on defense,
Yeah,
we would be way better.
yeah, yeah.
why do people compare him to Jimmy Butler when he can't
He's not
do
close.
those things?
I don't know. Well, you know the thing about it, I can't say a ton about him because I've watched a ton of video on him. Actually, I just got great interest in him recently, very recently. I know he's a hustler.
Anunobi.
Yeah, I know he's a hustler. He's everywhere the ball is. I know that they can put him on any just about any big in the league and smalls too. He's good. He's good that way. The Knicks doesn't have that, so that's a good thing for us to have. And I think we'll see. Will show. It will show. Now I think it will show that we get the better part of this deal.
Mm, good take. I think we're at least 20 minutes in. That gives us maybe maximum 10 more minutes here. We have a time limit. But I agree with you. I think what we have to do is a wait and see approach. We have to wait and see if this defensive approach is all right. We're back. Unfortunately, to take a little bit of a break, but back again. Uncle Glenn had to take care of some duties around the house. Of course, you know how that goes. All right. So we were talking about what to expect from the new guys. A lot of people don't know much about them.
No, like I think OG is almost the only guy who most people know, and he's also been off his form lately. I think it was a way bigger prospect when the Raptors won the title in 2020, 2021. He's fallen off a little bit, but maybe the Knicks can get him back to being a superstar, and yeah, we can just hope for the best.
That's the thing, the superstar thing. I'm not sure that's still in the cards. I'm not sure
Uh,
what's in the cards. I do suspect though that he can still be a 20 point per game scorer.
exactly.
I think he can get to 20 points per game. I watched a couple of Raptors games to do some research on this, and they don't use him.
No.
He will be standing in the corner one, two, three, four possessions, and he doesn't even touch the ball. And this is a guy that shoots 40% from three, right? And generally makes good decisions when he gets the ball.
He does.
So to have an offense in Toronto that's not getting him the ball to me was just weird. Seems like they're like purposely holding his numbers down. It's just a little weird thing. I guess maybe RJ was feeling the same way, which is why he tries to force it every time, something like that. But OG never tried to force it. Right?
No.
OG was just trying to play within the offense. You don't find them, you don't find them. And when you did find him, he would, do something good with the ball. So we'll see. What I'm saying is, I think there should still be some offensive potential.
I think there is a lot of potential actually in this. I think OG is still a very good offensive player. He's a little bit bigger than RJ. I think when it comes to being on like a 1v1, I think he'll be a little more aggressive. I think on both sides actually, be more aggressive on defense and offense. I think he is. I think he's an upgrade from RJ Barrett for sure. He is though older. He has more experience. Um, but yeah, I think this is a good trade for offense and defense here with OG. I think losing quickly is a setback from the offense, but I think OG is a way bigger upgrade than RJ Barrett.
Anyone thinking that McBride can replace quickly?
It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's great.
It's
Like
not gonna happen. Grimes can maybe try to step up better.
not as like quickly is and way different players. Like McBride is a reserve guy. Like before this trade, he came in when we were leading by a lot, or if we were losing by a lot. He was the guy who came in with 1 minute left. He's never got an actual playtime or serious playtime until now, where he's played a little bit and he hasn't really proven himself. I think he did his best or tried his best, but it, you can see he's never going to be at the level of Emmanuel Quickly. I think he is. I think Quickly is one of the best draft picks the Knicks have had in a very long time, especially for what everybody thought it was going to be. He was in his 20s, or he was in the 20s in the draft. Nobody really expected. Like everybody were looking at Toppin. Very few people were actually looking at Quickly and saying he's going to be a big thing. Everybody were just looking at Toppin and didn't care about Quickly. But when Quickly came on that court in Madison Square Garden, he really proved himself, and now he's for sure one of the top 10 in their draft.
I agree. I agree. So now, the other guys in this trade is, and we'll wrap up really quickly here. The other guys in this trade is Precious Achua, actually a Bronx
Yeah.
native, and we also have Malachi Flynn. I think he's a Seattle native. You know how the Seattle guys roll. Jamal Crawford. Don't quote me. What's it called? Isaiah Thomas. Who else is from Seattle? I don't remember. Is Durant from Seattle or he's from Texas? I don't know. But basically, Seattle produces a really good talent,
It does.
and we'll see if Malachi Flynn can also pick his game back up. I'm not sure what's happening with him or why he was, limited with his minutes. And then going back to Precious Achua, drafted by the Miami Heat. Not really sure exactly why he didn't get good opportunities. I did see the last game that he played. They must have known that he was going to be traded because they took the guy out, or they played him 2 minutes in the second quarter and never played him in the second half. So uh, I think the news was going around at that
Yeah.
point, for sure.
I think that Toronto players knew before the Knicks players probably, or they had a better feeling.
Yeah.
I think the Toronto players had an idea that they were getting traded. I think quickly woke up this morning in kind of a shock. I think RJ maybe a little bit more. He knew that he might get traded this year. I think quickly had more of a shock than I think any of the players in this trade.
Mhm.
I think the Raptors got kind of. I think they had a feeling probably.
All right. So let's wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the game. I'm really hoping they play. I do think they'll play. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't play today.
Also, the Raptors game. I'm really excited to see quickly and RJ.
That'll be a little bit bittersweet for me to watch that,
Yeah.
but I'm excited to see the Timberwolves. Last time we played them, it didn't go so well for us. This time we'll have OG. I saw some videos on YouTube regarding him being able to stop Ant-Man. I'm not sure if he's be able to stop the Ant-Man today with only 1 day of practice with his new team, or half a day, or an hour, or whatever they might have gotten in terms of practice before this game. So I'm not sure what he'll be able to do, but I'm excited if he plays and excited for that matchup. Uh, Anything else before we close up today?
Not really. We're just hoping for the best, really, of the new players, the new guys. I'm hoping for the best for Quick and RJ for their careers. And I wish all the players the best.
All right. It was a pleasure. Again, we are in the same room for the first time. This is also our first Knicks
video.
cast, the Knicks video.
Go watch the Jamaica ones as well.
Go watch the Jamaica ones if you missed that. We missed a lot of Jamaica though. We missed a lot of Jamaica.
Yeah,
so
we have to
think
get
about
that back before the Copa America this summer.
Yeah.
It's a big
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
for the people.
We got to get it back for the March.
Yeah.
March versus USA. March versus USA. And then definitely for Copa, and then prep up for the World Cup.
Especially a lot with Leon Bailey.
Yeah. And then of course now that the Knicks have a pretty much a brand new team, like this is a brand new team, and some people are saying trades are still coming. We will see. We will
I
see.
think it's more summer. I think
Yeah,
the summer will be bigger.
the Knicks don't do that many moves in the season.
If there comes another trade, it will be more. It will be very shocking. Especially probably be a big trade in that case.
I I would wonder if this would be a big trade with players or would be a big trade with draft picks. Because if it's a big trade with draft picks, I could see it happening because then you don't lose that much
No.
continuity. You just bring in a new player, maybe lose one more.
Yeah.
But to do another like 2 for 2 or 2 for 3 or that kind of
Yeah.
thing, that is
I think that's out of the cards
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sticking around. If you're watching this video in its entirety, you've done an amazing job.
Thank
That
you very
means you
much.
must like what we say we're doing. So thank you very much from father and son, and stepfather that was here, and then that would be step grandfather as well in terms of his relationship to my son. So thanks for sticking around. I hope
Yep.
you guys can, come back again, and we hope to be much more consistent in 2024. We're starting off 2024 with
The
a
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution. Okay, fair. He said it, not me. All right, guys. All right, take care and have fun at the game if you're going to the game and watch the game. Take care, guys.